a conditioned life is not a free life because you're acting out of the circumstances of your environment. In other words, whatever environment you were born into, it's going to tell you who you are and what's possible for you for the rest of your life if you're just acting on that conditioning.
So what you're saying is, even if you have like this idea or inspiration, the force of conditioning can lock you in. If you're ignorant, you can have this great, like, I have this big goal, but we're attached to get away from, our current circumstances, but we're so locked in if we're attached. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. And on the other side, ignorance of higher knowledge, meaning what is possible for us with the consciousness that we have. In the great epic from India, the Mahabharata, the king Yudhishthira says, one of the most remarkable things about human life is that every day we're surrounded by death, yet we act as if we were going to live forever.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't notice, or we don't take notice, or we don't take the lesson that our time is limited, that we need to use this life for this higher life or higher purpose in us, the spiritual calling, right? In other words, we spend it in that dualistic seeking pleasure because tomorrow we die, therefore I need to get as much pleasure and much sensory stimulation as possible before I die, and trying to avoid pain.
And the ignorance too, wouldn't it be that because it's the world is in constant motion, that there's no way to hang on to like the ignorance is that this thing is going to last. We're going to, once I get this goal, I'm going to feel great, and then that happiness lasts forever. Is that an ignorance too? This idea that there's something solid about that we can grasp in the world that can make us happy?
Yeah, certainly. If you look at our experience of pleasure, it's very temporal. It's very fleeting. So once you taste the strawberry, it lasts for a few seconds, and then you need another strawberry. And if you eat too many, then you get sick. Therefore, it leads us to the opposite always, to suffering.